everybody, Miss Teacher here. We're taking a look at a question that's very complex and probably doesn't belong in lesson 5.5. It really belongs in lesson 5.6. So you're going to need some help with it. Jordan takes 50% of the cherries from a bowl. Then May takes 50% of the remaining cherries. Finally, Greg takes 50% of the remaining cherries. There are 3 cherries left. How many cherries were in the bowl before Jordan arrived? All right, so I've mapped this out, and you'll have to kind of follow along with everything I'm saying here because it's a little bit of a mess on the page. All of the cherries would be 100%. Now, if Jordan came along and took 50%, that means you have 50% that remain. Well, remember, May came along, and she took half of that. So that means that she really took 25% of all of the cherries. So if we map out May and put 25%, that's a good idea. All right, then Greg came along, and he was looking at what was left in this little chunk right here, and he took half of that. So what does that mean? That means he really took half of this. All of this would be 25%. Half of 25% is 12.5%. So that's Greg's amount. So we have what Jordan took, 50%. We have what May took, which was 25%. And we have what Greg took, which ended up being 12.5 or 12 5/10%. If we add all that up, then that means that 87 5/10% of the cherries were eaten. Now, what does that mean remain? Because we need the percent for how much remain. If you subtract this number from 100%, which is all of it, you would get this, which is 12 5/10 that remain. All right, now, in order to figure out the all of it number, we have to use proportions. So set it up as parts and wholes, and we know that the part is 3 and that the all of it number we don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. We're figuring out all the cherries. And the part that we know that's percent, we figured that out and we got 12.5 or 12.5%. So we're going to substitute that in for the part. Now really the only way that you can solve this is using cross products probably. So this cross product would be 300. I'm just going to write that. I don't even really have room. I don't even know if you're going to see this when I end up posting it. So we have this cross product is 300, and the other cross product would be 12 5/10 W. And what's the opposite of multiplying a variable by 12 5/10? Well, it's divide by 12 5/10. So the only thing left you would have to do to finish solving this problem would be probably to get out your calculator, because, let me bring down this W here, you would do 300 divided by 12 5/10 on your calculator, and if you do that correctly, you're going to end up getting 24 cherries. So I'm just going to substitute that in. They want to know what's the all. The all would end up being 24. That would be 300 divided by 12 5/10.